Too slow.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that...
The Traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
Indeed, as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help? Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift Hounds? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already? Good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them. Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to cooperate with all other available forces to eliminate the monsters. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation. You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far more at ease. I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Ad Astra...
Quit following me. Behold!
They're attacking the sacred sakura! Stop them!
Feel this ancient power. Cool it! This moment will be frozen in time. The wind rises. Know your place. Burst forth. Freeze.
Let me weave you a verse.
Cool it! Don't get frostbite. Moment of birth!
Wow, there are so many of them! No wonder the Tenryo Commission needed help! Come on, Traveler, you can take them!
Dodge this! Behold!
Torn to oblivion!
Shogun? Wait, no! Could also be A!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryo Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them! That was amazing!
I'm making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself. Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission. But rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura... It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma. Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts. So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby. All of them must be eliminated.
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kinda makes you feel invincible, doesn't it? Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria. This color! It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage! Let's follow it. It should be this way.
幸い、被害はそれほど大きなものではありませんでした。傷ついた神王の手当ては、シャブ業に任せればいいでしょう。
流れてるのって、神王の樹液か？なんか光ってるけど。あれ？これって。まさか、この人もう亡くなってるんじゃないか？今までも旅の途中で同じような現象をオイラたち見てきただろう。でも、なんでこんなところに。
二人とも、辺りを確認してみましょ
う。俺はここで倒れるわけには。仲間たちのためにも俺は。おい、何があったんだ？お前たち何者だ？早く逃げろ！猛獣がまた来るぞ。奴らに目をつけられたらもう逃げられない。俺たちは稲妻を守り最後まで戦い抜かねば。何？知らないのか？稲妻はもう暗き闇に覆われてしまったんだ。辺りには猛獣が溢れ返っている。それだけじゃない、もっと凶悪な魔物もいるようだ。奴らには感情がなく、ただ全てを飲み込もうとしている。俺たち人間が存在した証もおそらく奴らに食らい尽くされてしまうだろう。
でも、周りには何もないぞ。
まだその時じゃないってだけだ。奴らは必ず戻ってくる。だから早く逃げろ。もう時間がない。今は将軍様も狐西宮様もいらっしゃらない。頼れるのは自分たちだけだ。俺たちがあとどれぐらい持ちこたえられるか俺にもわからない。だがもし希望までも捨ててしまえば、それこそ本当に何も残らないだろう。
慌てることはありません。私はここにいますよ。
将軍様、お帰りになられてたんです。お願いします。どうか我々を助けてください。どうか稲妻をお救いください。あなた様の無情なる来光がなければこの暗闇を払いのけることはできません。
落ち着いてください。もうあの戦争は終わっています。
終わった？一体何をおっしゃって？
辺りをよく見ればわかります。草木は生い茂り、風も至極穏やかです。魔物もおらず、命を脅かすものもありません。
確かに。しかし一体どうして？奴らはさっきまで近くにいたのに。つい先ほど私はこの目で見たんです。戦友たちの体が紙のように引き裂かれる姿を。
落ち着けって、もう大丈夫だ。
ああ、そうか。将軍様が稲妻を救ってくださったのですね。将軍様を信じることはやはり最も正しい選択でした。将軍様がいる限り稲妻は永遠に安泰でしょう。ありがとうございます、将軍様。本当にありがとうございます。
どうしたんだよ、一体。
はい。
おいら、何が起きたのかよくわからなかったけど、でもなんだかすごく悲しくて絶望的な状況だったみたいだ。
私の考えが正しければ、先ほどの一幕はとある仏師がこの地に残した記憶でしょう。神王は地脈から汚れを吸い取って浄化することができます。ハウンドに襲われた樹幹の傷から汚れが漏れ出し、凝集して実体になったのでしょう。もし集まったのが凄まじい汚れであれば、形成された個体は強い攻撃性を持ちます。浄化された汚れはすぐに散逸し、再び地脈へと溶けていきます。
つまり過去に亡くなった人たちの記憶が今ここに現れたってことか？
その通り。 あの兵士も数多くの犠牲者の一人であり、彼が言っていたことこそ500年前に稲妻で起きた災いなのです。はい。当時稲妻は数々の危機に直面していました。それは本土に関することもあれば、すでに滅びた王国、稲妻の災いは、私にとって決して看過できるものではありませんでした。すぐにでも私が介入しなければ、その災いは、テイはただ、私の友人である狐西宮は、私にこう言いました。周りにある力のすべてをもって、稲妻を守る責務を担い、私の不安を取り除くと。誰も口にはしませんでしたが、私も彼女も分かっていました。その先にあるのが、茨の道であることを。
それって、カーン・ルイヤに災いが起こった時、稲妻も襲われてたってことか？
はい。無数の魔物が突如稲妻に現れたのです。狐西宮は人々を守るため、自らの命を捧げました。私は彼女の最後を見届けることはできませんでした。けれど、彼女は命果てるその瞬間まで、私との約束を果たしてくれていた。しかしそれでも、稲妻の惨状は想像を絶するものでした。あの悲劇は、この大地に、そして私の心に大きな傷を残しました。はい。失ったものがもたらす苦痛を、私は直視することができませんでした。たとえ、たたり神を断ち切り、魔獣を殲滅できる強大な武力を持っていたとしても、結局、時間には抗えません。大切な人を留めておくことはできないのです。しかし、人間の願いを目にしてからは、私も色々と考えました。いつまでも過去に囚われてばかりいるわけにはいきません。以前、あなたと一緒に稲妻を散策したとき、数百年にもわたる稲妻の進歩を、そして人々の可能性を見届けました。その全てが私の想像をはるかに上回るものでした。前進することは損失をもたらしますが、それはまた出会いも生み出します。先ほどの兵士も数々の失ったものを見届けながら、それでも前進して戦うことを選びました。あの時代の犠牲者が命を賭してでも追い求めた未来。彼らの心の中に存在したその風景は、私の望んだ永遠とは違っていたのかもしれません。稲妻の神として、今こそ彼らの期待に応える時です。かつてその血を流してきた兵士たち。その輝かしい魂は、この大地に眠っています。あなたたちの努力を忘れることはありません。
エイの表情がすごく真剣だ。
行きましょう。私たちはまだ被害を受けている神王を調査しなければなりません。
天へと前。疑似妖怪。天創世の術。
やっぱりここにも獣液ハウンドがいたぞ。
私に任せてください。 裁きの雷。はっ。せっ。てったっ。ふっ。ひゅっ。逃げ道はありません。はっ。ふん。せっと。やっ。てったっ。てっ。ふん。やっ。ふん。せったっ。せっ。てっ。はっ。ふっ。ふん。だ。
あれ A の様子、なんかおかしくないか？
どうしてそのようなことを聞くのでしょう。
普段ならもっと手際よく刀を抜いて、シャキーンって一瞬で切り伏せるだろ？
心配はいりません。私はただ力を温存しておきたいだけです。事前にある程度の情報を得てはいますが、いつ不測の事態が起こってもおかしくはありません。ですから、最善の準備をしておかなければならないのです。もし、より強大な魔獣があたりに潜んでいたら、それに対応できるだけの力が必要になりますから。
おお、さすが百戦錬磨の大将軍。この木の根は深い傷を負っているみたいだ。このことをシャブ業の人に伝えないと。あれ、また光り出したぞ。
あなたは古山？
将軍様、遠方の戦場へとお出向きになられたのでは。どうしてまたお帰りに？
遠方の戦場？これも500年前の出来事なのか。
私から紹介しましょう。この者は古山。かねてより私に付き従っていた茶人です。古山は目が見えませんが、常人をはるかに超える神秘を備えています。彼が入れたお茶は稲妻でも一二を争うものなんですよ。
そんな恐れ多い。これはただ将軍様にずっと付き従って得得した特技に過ぎませんよ。ところでお客人をお連れのようですが、このような状況ではおそらく皆さんにまともなお茶をお出しすることはできません。それでもよろしければこちらに座ってしばらくお休みになられませんか。何せ外はもう大混乱ですので。
なあ、おいらたちどうしたらいいんだろう。そうなんだよ。外はもう猛獣だらけで真っ暗なんだ。それに怪我人もいっぱいいて。
そうですか。もうここまで攻めてきたのですね。付近の住民はもうほとんど逃げました。彼らはこの老骨も連れて行こうとしましたが、私は意味がないと思い、ここに将軍様がいらっしゃるのですから、私が逃げる理由などはありません。それにもしこれが将軍様ですらどうしようもないことだったとしたら、一体どこに逃げればいいというのでしょう。逃げるのは生き延びるため、生きたいと思うのはまだやり遂げていないことがあるため。しかし私にはあいにくそのような考えがありません。後悔や心残りもないのです。
将軍様がお茶をたしなむとき、いつも無双のことを私に話してくださいました。その話を聞いていると、たとえ長いこと光を失っていた私でも、稲妻の最も美しい山々や海を旅しているような気分になれたのです。時が経つにつれ、私は将軍様のロマンと夢のある考えを理解するようになりました。いつも言っていましたよ。美しきものは時の流れとともに変化し消えてゆく。だからこそ人生において悔いのないよう楽しまなければならないと。
それって
私はすでに無数の美しき物事を見てきました。たとえ最悪の今であっても何の不満もありません。
それも間違ってはいません。
あと少しすれば私も将軍様にお別れを告げる時が来るでしょう。この災難の後、将軍様の再建した稲妻を見れないのは本当に残念で仕方ありません。しかしそれでもいいのです。皆稲妻が闇に包まれたと言っていますが、私の目には稲妻はずっと真っ暗だったんですから。災難が過ぎれば新生が来たるもの。たとえ私がその時まで生きながらえたとしても、ただの風情のわからぬ盲目の老人。やはりこれ以上はやめておきましょう。おや、これはいけない。自分の話ばかりしてお茶を出してもいませんでした。将軍様がいらっしゃったというのにお茶すら用意できていないとは、なんと失敬なことを。少々お待ちを。今すぐ。おや、茶道具はどこに？もしや他の者がここを離れようとしたとき、どこかにぶつけて割ってしまったのでしょうか。
確かに茶道具はどこにもなさそうだな。
やはりありませんか。いつもはすぐそばに置いてあるはずなんですが。いえ、客人に取りに行かせるなんてあまりにも礼儀を欠いてしまっております。
問題ありません。あなたはここで休んでいてください。私たちがすぐに取ってきますので。
将軍様は直々に行かれるのですか？なりません。そんな恐れ多いこと。それに外の戦況も。
この場所は複雑で、あなたの記憶にある茶屋とは大きく異なります。私たちに任せてください。
わかりました。まさか将軍様に茶道具を用意してもらう日が訪れるとは。最後の後悔と言いますか、最後の幸運と言いますか。まったく。
どこに行けば茶道具が見つかるんだろうな。お茶は飲めなくてもいいけど、あの優しいおじいちゃんが500年前にいろんな悲しい目にあったと思うと胸が痛いな。
私も彼の入れたお茶が恋しくなってきました。
借りれるはずだ。
属性を見下ろさん。風が如し。
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings. They are similar, but not identical. When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me. Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition. An ambition is a yearning for something material, or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature, and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
That's, quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving? I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with. Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did. But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity, but now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your Excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Hey, where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long, as was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate. Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of tea. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself. The tea is ready. Please give it a try. So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it. You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably light-hearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me, for good.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. In any case, by the time I realized what was happening, yes, it was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plain of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it, and yet its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land, and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Sister? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that she was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma, and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
Quit following me. Too slow. The wind rises. Behold! following me. Gah!
Once again, please leave them to me.
Hey! Are you sure you're alright? You're scaring us!
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best. Shine down! There is no escape!
Are you alright?
I'm fine. Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down! Illusion shattered! Transcend all constraints. My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back. We'll deal with the monsters. Look, that's the same light again.
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too! Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right. Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men! They're coming back for more! Let's get them!
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Nobody knew where your excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Protect the almighty Shogun!
As one with wind and cloud!
Time to act.
Squall and fury! Search for it!
I'll protect us.
Wind Strider!
No, my sword!
Know your place! Quit following me!
Let's dance.
Behold!
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon, and I have neglected it for far too long. I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done. Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past. No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on. He looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her. Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up! What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
My body... I can't move it. It looks like... the situation... is more serious than I thought. No need. She is calling me. The time has come. Can you help me walk? I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past and take the first steps into the future.